Well, 2025 is almost here, and it looks as though the Frisco real estate market is gearing up for yet another dynamic year. But what exactly will that look like? What's going to happen to home prices? Are they going to keep going up? And how about those mortgage rates? They stayed much higher for longer than many had predicted. Is that going to continue? Well, how might these changes impact your plans to buy or sell a home in the coming year? Well, I invite you to stick around because in this video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know to prepare for the 2025 Frisco real estate market. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team, eXp Realty here in Frisco, Texas. And I think it's pretty safe to say that 2020 didn't exactly play out as many had predicted it would at the end of 2023. And it wasn't a bad market by any means, but sales were definitely down. We didn't see the number of sales that we usually do. And a lot of that has to do with the fact with, as I just mentioned, mortgage rates stayed much higher for longer than had been predicted and are still higher than many people would like. And that definitely caused people to pump the brakes, especially sellers. I've said it so many times, but it makes sense really when you look at it. If you own a home and you've got a mortgage rate of between 2 and 3%, even if that home's getting a small, are you really going to make a move and buy a new home at 7%? And the answer is likely no, you are not going to do that unless you absolutely have to. And with that in mind, many of the sellers that we normally see, their homes never came to market. Was inventory up? Absolutely. Inventory was higher than we had seen in many years, but it's still not back to what we consider normal levels of inventory. So many sellers just flat out didn't sell. If there's nothing for sale, it's hard for sales to go up overall. But saying that, I think we can all agree on the fact that new construction was definitely the big winner in 2024. And because the builders knew that mortgage rates were the single biggest hurdle for many people buying a home. So what did they do? They attacked mortgage rates. They were offering low mortgage rate teaser rates. And then that started to move into not just teaser rates, but permanent rate buy downs. So a lot of your big builders were doing that to try and ease the affordability constraint that many would-be home buyers were having. As a result, the new home builders actually saw record years in 2024. The question becomes, is that going to continue into 2025? And the builders that I've been talking to are already starting to report that homes going under contract now are actually running a little bit behind where they were a year ago. So there's definitely still some uncertainty out there. But overall, it's looking as though 2025 is going to be a pretty solid real estate market here in Frisco overall. And we've got a lot of new developments coming online that I'm really excited about. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're like. We've got Brook Hollow North in Fields, which is going to be the brand new Landon development. You've also got an expansion going on in Lexington. You've also got the entire new section of the Grove on the north side of Main Street coming online very soon. So all of those things are taking place, which just show it's an exciting time to be in real estate here in Frisco. But it begs the question, what's going to happen? And although no one knows for sure as it stands right now, it's looking as though we're going to see, or we're starting to return to a much more normal pattern. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so what we're looking at here is the median list price of homes in Frisco over the past few years, actually. So as you can see here, as we go all the way back into June 2020, we had this massive run up in prices at the beginning of, all the way through the beginning of 2021. Then we had this drop off. And then since the basically late spring, early summer 2021, we just had this, it just continually kept growing. But if we focus in on last year and what we saw this year, we can see a much more normal pattern. And here's what I mean. We had the low point of the year in the winter of 2023. And I'm going to zoom in on this just for a minute. And you can see here in the spring, which is typically our busiest time of the year, we had this run up in prices. We peaked in the summer, and then pricing started to cool. It hits its low point in the end of December, beginning of January, right where we are now. And then again, it started its trajectory back up. We start flattening out, but then we peaked again in summer, and then we've continued this downward trend towards the end of the year to the low point where we are right now. Now, all the indications are that that trend is going to continue here in 2025. So we're right at the low point in terms of pricing right now, which means as we go further into January, beginning of February, we should start to see that pricing curve go up all the way through April into about the beginning of May. And from there, it'll start to slow. We'll see pricing flatten out. It will peak again in the summer before taking its downward trajectory or declining as activity declines later in the year. So what exactly does that mean for you if you're considering buying or selling a home? Well, if you look at it from a seller's perspective, right? So from a seller's perspective, assuming that you're in a position to sell, and again, that lock-in effect from mortgage rates, I think we can agree at this point in time that mortgage rates are not declining to 4%. We're not getting down anywhere near there. More and more and more, they're starting to forecast that the new normal will be somewhere around about 5.5% to 6%, depending upon who it is that you listen to. Right now, we're still trending in the upper sixes. It's expected that that is going to start to decline. But even at the forecast that I have seen lately are showing that those rates are probably not going to drop much below 6% by the end of 2025. Could that be wrong? Absolutely, it could be wrong. They may be way off. They were way off this year, right? I mean, it looked as though rates they were forecasting would be about 5.5% or so, 5.25% even by the end of 2024. And that obviously wasn't the case. So we're all just going to have to keep our eyes on that. But from a seller's perspective, if you are considering selling, then I invite you to reach out. You're going to want to start to make preparations to get that home ready for sale. In the next 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to start to want those preparations if you're going to take advantage of the busiest selling season of our year here in the local Frisco market. And you're going to be competing against new construction because there's plenty of that. But there are ways to overcome those financing incentives that the builder has been offering. So again, if you'd like more information about that, then I invite you to reach out. I've got a link to my calendar, actually the QR code up on the screen, or feel free to call or text me at any time. Let's schedule a call and talk through your plans, and I can share some tips and advice on making sure that you're able to maximize the value of your home when it does come time to sell. Now, if you're buying a home in Frisco this year, the big decision that you're going to have to make is it going to be new construction or resale? New construction is selling at a premium in most of the areas where there is new construction right now. You know, the days of being able to get really cheap new construction in Frisco are gone. One of the factors for you to consider is with a resale home, you're more than likely, depending on when that home was built, going to be able to get a larger lot. Homes on 65, 75, 85 foot wide lots were common in Frisco 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Whereas these days, as you know, 40 foot, 50 foot, 65 foot wide lots are, about where things are. So those lot sizes have gone down as prices have gone up. So it's something to keep in mind. If mortgage rates continue to stay higher, then I expect that the builders are going to continue to aggressively offer incentives with regards to financing, because they know that that is really a hot button. But just like on the sales side, if you want to put together a game plan and talk through some of those different options, I invite you to reach out. I'm always happy to offer that free 30-minute consultation with anybody, and we can talk things through and come up with a game plan that is best for you. Now, as mentioned right at the beginning, there's a couple of things I'm really excited about as we go forward in 2025. Without a doubt, if we look at the Fields community, that has gone gangbusters. It's taken off. Many people thought, oh my gosh, it's so overpriced, it's never going to sell. And that has proven not to be the case at all. Have there been some incredible deals? Have there been some amazing price reductions? Yes. And those continue to take place today, all the time. If you are not aware of those, then I invite you, subscribe to this channel. I feature those type of properties all the time, and you can get some absolutely amazing deals. But Toll Brothers in Fields in Brookside South, they're virtually sold out. Huntington Homes are virtually sold out. You've also got Britton Homes that don't have a ton of lots left. They're starting to wind down, which leaves you with Shattuck and Darling and Olivia Clark on the homes that they have left. But if you were to drive through that neighborhood now, you would be absolutely amazed as how it's come together. There's families there. There's a lot of activity going on. And so as that starts to get built out, all of our attention is going to shift to the Landon development in Brookside North, as well as the Preserve, which are the high-end custom homes starting right at about $3.5 million. But if you want information on Landon Homes, again, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be featuring those homes in a video coming up here early in the new year. And I'm also going to be doing a video featuring what is happening in the Preserve on those really high-end homes as well. Now also, if we look at other parts of Frisco, there's continued growth taking place in Lexington. But the other community I'm really excited about is the Grove. It's been one of the most popular communities in Frisco for quite some time. And Highland Homes are the first one to start pre-selling on the north side of Main Street, the extension of the Grove. That's going to be built out over the next few years. There's another amenity center going on or going in over there. You've also got Bloomfield Homes that are going to be building and other builders that are going to be announced. And I'm also going to be doing a video featuring what is going on in that community as well. Just slightly to our north, you've still got quite a lot of activity taking place in Prosper. Shopping at the gates of Prosper is absolutely taking off. The third phase is being built right now. They've just announced that Nordstrom Rack, Total Wine & More, Barnes & Noble, REI are going to be going in, to name just a few, along with some additional restaurants. You've got Windsong Ranch continuing to be built out on the far north side. Again, that community is going to be wrapping up here before too long, although they do have definitely some phases still to go. Just to the north of that, you've got everything going on in Mosaic, another community, same master developer as Windsong Ranch. Now, likewise, on the other side, on the east side of Prosper, Salina, you've also got Mustang Lakes, and they've got new communities coming online there. New phases are going to be opened in the new year. So I bring that up just due to the fact that to show you, new construction in this area is not going away. It is absolutely booming overall. So there's a lot of different options for anyone considering buying or selling. So again, I do invite you to reach out if you've got questions. And overall, if you're waiting for there to be a big drop in pricing or something drastic to change in our local real estate market in 2025, it just doesn't look as though that's going to happen. There is absolutely nothing in the data right now to suggest that it will. And speaking of that, each and every month I do a full and complete market update. So make sure that you keep your eye out for those, where I go over all the latest pricing trends, what's going on with mortgage rates. We talk about things from a national level and then also in our local market as well. So hopefully this information has been useful for you. Again, I invite you to subscribe to this channel as I release information on what's going on specific to Frisco and Prosper, mainly areas that I focus on more than any other. So if you've got questions, need some additional information, then I invite you to reach out. Wishing you and your family a very safe and happy new year, and I look forward to connecting with you in 2025 to help make your real estate dreams a reality. Now don't go anywhere because I know you're going to enjoy this video coming up next.